video games.
Cause now we ain't Rugrats, man. We all grown up.
Gamers, Mr. Has-Been, put the skibbity away. The worst episode yet. We've reached bottom of the barrel. Mr. Has-Been, what is more important? What is more important than a video game? The DVD bonus feature of the video game.
Yeah.
That is what we'll be talking about today.
And every time that I've talked about that on my channel, people are like, shut up and play the game. Because I always feel like I have to point out the bonus features. And everyone's like, who the fuck cares?
So we will be making an entire episode about who the fuck cares. We were talking last episode.
Okay.
Sorry, what was it?
I was just going to say, this isn't a very spooky episode.
Well, we don't celebrate Halloween yet. But the reason why I thought about this was we were discussing the spookiest episode of Rugrats All Grown Up in existence. And that made me think, what is the spookiest episode of SpongeBob? Well, obviously, Scaredy Pants. It's not. It's I Was a Teenage Gary. That is the most horrific episode of all time, followed by the Splinter. And then House Fancy. Crunch. I was thinking about the Scaredy Pants DVD, which had an ad on it for Revenge of the Flying Dutchman.
It did.
It was the first time I'd ever seen it, and has forever linked Revenge of the Flying Dutchman in my mind with Halloween and scary Nickelodeon stuff. And I haven't watched this trailer since I was a kid, and I wanted to watch it with you. And I want to talk about other early Nickelodeon video game trailers and try to find a bunch and chat about some.
I was just going to say, it's probably one that I've watched like 1,000 times during my...
Absolutely. This one has 11,000 views. Probably 10 of those were you. Let's have a little chit chat about it. And I just wanted to go through a bunch of different ones, find as many games as we can, talk about the trailers, and see the differences. See what's changed.
You know me. I'm always down for a Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I'm always down to... No, just a Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, you know?
Oh. Well, that's what before we start recording, you're like, am I going to be able to, like, hold a complete sentence in this episode?
Cool,
and I was like, I most definitely think so.
Yeah. All
right, let's have a little watch of this. You can hear these usually.
Yeah. It's actually not too loud this time. Cool. Yeah, so actually, it's a little loud. It's getting louder. It's getting progressively louder. I cannot whistle, 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 whistle.
Hell yeah.
I would like to know who captured the gameplay for that. It was probably I can't think. What is his name?
The bad one, the mean guy?
No, it was probably the other guy that I interviewed who told me about that. What is his name? Well, I'm pulling up my files.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah, because he's in the game.
It was him, Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown, probably. The reason... Jeremy Arnson. It was probably him, knowing his role, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's the guy that was like the late night tester that did like 70% of everyone's work, right?
Yeah, I mean, according to him, but yeah.
According to him, yes. Right, so, Mr. Has-Been, the expert on this game, can we chat through this?
Yes.
So you've seen this before?
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to bring it. I mean, I don't know if it was this exact trailer that I used, but in the video, the only investigation I've done on the channel about the early pitch document kind of included a little segment from this trailer, actually.
Did you? Although I must have seen it then.
Because it shows off these little orb things that are like glowy in one build, and they're not. I don't think they're Krabby Patties. I don't know if you want to like. You could change the playback speed and mute it, and then.
Yeah, good point. So, you've seen this trailer a handful of times. Is there
sure.
anything of note?
Yeah, I was gonna point out a few things.
Okay, let's go through. So obviously,
this is a
let me
very
know if any
early
of this
build.
stuff is
The way the water's flowing and everything, and they just use random clips from the show.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. Boo, ba-doo. Like this looks very
different,
early,
yeah.
Peter. This looks very dark. You can see there's Krabby Patties there. Also, I don't remember there being clown enemies when you. I could be wrong there.
And I've never. I don't think I've ever beat the entirety of Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I've gone up to the final level like 4 times.
Yeah, the placement of that stuff is
don't
weird.
recognize a lot of
Krabby Patties.
this. Like I know that bit. Is that hill like that though in Jellyfish Fields? I know there's
a lot
that
of this
hill
I don't
next to the
think
platforming.
is quite like this.
I don't recall this really sheer sloped hill and
I do remember an area like that in Jellyfish Fields.
I thought it was flat though, because it's behind it. You have that tiered platforming bit that's like in a plus shape.
I'm not sure. I remember that fence there. It's hard to place in my mind. I think that is a spot in there. I think it's kind of designed differently without so much of a skybox, but
yeah.
Chumput. I'm trying to see. Maybe this is a different.
Oh, is that
orb right there?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's supposed to
basketball.
be. Because I was trying to figure out what those particle effects were in the demo. That I was like, what is this orb? Is it a collectible or whatever? And I suggested that, there is an orb collectible in one build because it's right there. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It doesn't look like the Krabby Patties because we see the Krabby Patties later and they are orb-like, but they're not like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's very clearly a very early build. Like that's.
I think it's a mashup of builds. I think this footage is from, like different versions. Because like one build, the sheen on SpongeBob looked weird, and in that build, he looks more like he should.
Yeah, and the playground there looks fairly right. But yeah, compared to where was it? This one.
Yeah, like the lighting is totally different. Like
And
this is
what
much
is that
earlier.
facial animation too?
I think he makes it. he makes
Does
stuff
he?
like that when he's wearing the karate gear.
I only ever see him from behind, so.
Yeah. Well, that was something that they really wanted you to be able to see his face at points if you wanted to. So.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that was that clip that we just and this right here, the way they walk up to the Krabby Patty and try to use the net to collect it. I was like, what are they doing?
It doesn't even collect it.
Yeah,
I never even noticed that.
I was like, why are you doing that?
Oh, more of the orbs. Right.
Yeah, and
They
I
do
don't
a
know
little
what those
star
things
effect.
The star effect is a particle effect that was included in that build that no, they are Krabby Patties. They're just very shiny in that build. They're so shiny that you can't tell what they are.
They're less ball shaped and more. Right, they're golden Krabby Patties. You see the burger? There's
So
like
at
that
one
middle
point they
layer in
were.
there?
So it must have been that in one build they were just plain Krabby Patty looking, and then in another build they added a gold effect to them for some. Maybe when they were trying to figure out like what they would be used for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was just
star
trying to make
effect-
them look. Maybe it was trying to make them look a little bit more kind of, I don't know, Mario-esque. The gold collectibles.
Yeah, because Arnson
thing.
was very much influenced by Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, so yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Banjo-Kazooie is even better. Yeah, the puzzle
GPs.
pieces and everything. GPs.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's very obviously a mix of builds. And the star particle effect that was in the demo that I showcased on my channel. Still,
Yeah.
that was like an early thing that they wanted to include, but they changed it up later.
It's interesting, isn't it? I know. I'm just I always
Figures
really
one-
like discovering that stuff.
There's some There's some early Royal Ransom footage that shows an entire like cut level, I believe, if you can find that.
Some game trailer.
Maybe. While you pull that up. So, actually, I have a quick story. The other day, I was having a conversation with my grandmother, and then once the conversation had wrapped up, she walked up, like as she was leaving, she's like, "All right, I gotta go look up what goated means." And I died after she said that. And my mom was like, "Why are you laughing? What does that mean? Is that bad? What does that mean?" Apparently, my sister had been saying that she was goated, and she didn't know what that means. She was just being stupid.
No.
But then later that night, me and my mom went to Walgreens, which is like a pharmacy here. And I don't know if you have Walgreens in Australia.
No, we do not.
And she just randomly all of a sudden was like, "Skibbity toilet, what's that?" Again, I die. I was like, "What? Why are all the older people in my life quoting these random memes out of nowhere?" And so the Skibbity toilet thing was they had these blind bags. These were
Right.
supposed to be $6, but nobody bought them, and they were discounted for 50 cents. So I was like, I'm gonna get one for the lols,
Right.
and I ended up getting. You could get Skibbity toilet or some G-Man toilet guy, and then all these different suit people with technology heads. I don't know the Gmod Half-Life Skibbity toilet lore. But I actually got Skibbity toilet, and I was quite pleased. So that's why-
First one.
Yes, the only one. It's the rare. No. So Skibbity
Damn
toilet
good.
will live on my set in infamy forever now.
Oh, they released the Halloween game as well, which is interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking
Halloween
at
game.
I'm sorting through trailers at the moment. Okay, well, I found a bunch of potential options. Let me pull some of these up for us, and we can go through them. Okay,
Where did that music come from? That just
Yeah.
occurred to me. That's not SpongeBob
that's one of the bits
music.
that's like stuck in my mind. So this was obviously taken. So this is Rugrats Royal Ransom, I believe, taken from either a DVD or another game. Let's have a little chat through this one.
Backyard. Stu Pickles has created his latest and greatest invention yet. A play set full of exciting lands to explore called the Play Palace 3000.
Yeah, I've seen this ad.
Chucky, Kimmy, Phil, and Lil endure obstacles and intrigue in vast lands just as
Endure.
They endure intrigue in vast lands. These babies are going on the epic adventure of a lifetime.
Is this the one you're talking about? The
I don't
underwater
know.
segment?
No, the underwater segment, that's in there.
Are you sure?
You don't remember the underwater
I
segment?
don't remember that at all.
lands just
There
to
was
take
a
back what's
cutwater.
rightfully theirs.
There was a cutwater segment. What is that slushy? What? Hold on, I'm seeing all
Also,
these.
find the dragon.
I have so many. The dragon. That's the cut thing. There's like footage of a dragon at some point.
Walking around
So
in
that-
the sky.
So there was a cut level from the underwater world, and there was a cut level from the medieval world, and that's why like the medieval world only has 2 levels, and the underwater world only has 2 levels.
Right.
But let's watch it all the way through, and then we'll go back through like
Yeah.
we did before. Because I have a lot of thoughts here. Yeah, see, there's a dragon.
So
was
come
never-
on in and take a shot with the Rugrats Royal Ransom. Rugrats Royal Ransom will be
Rugrats
available on
Royal Ransom.
PlayStation 2 Computer Entertainment System, coming this
So that was the one that I
Only
was thinking
PlayStation
of.
2.
Yeah, they didn't have GameCube on there, interestingly enough. Well, I don't know if that's the ad that was on it, but there was a Royal Ransom ad on the Big Sky Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius game. I don't know if it was this exact one. It probably was. You can see how early this stuff is, though. That the textures are all off, the lighting.
Yeah. It's interesting how quickly these things, like how late in the stage stuff is changing.
Right, especially these licensed Nickelodeon games, especially from these first few years, everything was changing so quickly. Because Dutchman had countless different builds. I'm sure this one did as well. So yeah, okay, so pause here real quick. The underwater thing, this is a mission that's in the game where you're collecting the treasure chest with a magnet. What really threw me off, though, was what is the sippy cup there, or whatever the
slushy
is supposed to be?
There's in a few different segments. I feel like it has to be fuel because it's in the other driving segments.
Oh, because in the moon buggy levels, they did make you collect fuel. It didn't look like that, but that's not at all in the final thing, and I'm kind of glad because that's very distracting there in the corner. But
yeah, it's huge. They could just do a bar.
Right. I think that's what they ended up doing was giving you a bar. But it's like, I mean, it's like aesthetic, but they should have made it smaller. I don't know.
Yeah.
The map looks a little bit different as well. I think the chests look different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that cup of whatever that is
cup, because it's in the flying.
Yeah, because it's in the vehicle ones. Yeah. So maybe they realized people were getting, because those levels don't have fuel. The only one that I know of that actually ended up having fuel by the end was the moon buggy ones, and it was kind of annoying. This is interesting because they show you a different kind of Band-Aid level where it's like actually a picture of a Band-Aid, and I don't think
empties out. Yeah,
and I don't think the mini map looked like a scroll in that world at all.
No, I don't recall that either.
The mini maps were standardized. This dragon, though, people always bring up this dragon. I don't know why it was cut.
Well, you're running around in the air, to be fair.
We assume it was cut for time, but it looks pretty far along here.
Yeah, like it's fully animated, it's fully everything, but Chucky isn't. Like, there's no floor underneath him.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. This looks very different. The lighting is... go back to that real quick. So the lighting is crazy dark here, and the ice crystals look different.
And the lower ice is like nearly black.
You can see the snowman is like bright, but everything else is like, oh, I'm underneath there's an eclipse right now.
And I feel like the texture on all this is way darker.
Oh,
even the textures themselves are way darker.
The textures are darker, more plain. There's an ammo meter here that's not in the final game.
And a spring meter?
I thought that was the ammo meter. I don't know, but yeah,
it's a spring.
Oh, I don't think it's a spring.
Oh, it bounces. See, it bounces. No, it bounces. Look.
Where's the spring? Hold on.
On the left-hand side. See, when he shoots, it contracts and then bounces back up to show how much he's compressing the thing. Doom.
Oh, it's not an ammo. Okay, I saw it. Because in the okay, so it is a spring. It looked like rockets, like a series of rockets. That makes sense though, because that level is all about like you have to compress it, like you have to pull the thing back at just the right length to shoot it. So
he's got the fuel thing again as well. It's down a little bit.
And again, I'm glad they did not include that.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting little thing.
The freaking babies are going on a royal adventure throughout the Play Palace 3000.
Now, I want to chat a little bit about the game that we'll be talking about a lot more soon. So we'll probably feature this in whatever investigation we end up doing. But Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. I have never looked at any of the trailers for this stuff.
I remember seeing them. I don't remember which game they were. Maybe Royal Ransom? I don't remember. I vividly remember having a game that had a Twonkies ad in it and thinking that it looked fun, but that I couldn't play it.
Let's give this a go. Oh, sorry, need the audio.
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Check. Homework. Check. Jetpack. Check. Save the world from Twonkies. Check.
All right. That's all very interesting.
See, I don't know enough about this game to point anything
I know
out.
I know enough to kind of chat about this one.
The adventures
I believe
of
I
Jimmy
saw
Neutron,
this
Board
ad.
Genius. The Attack of the Twonkies.
Is there any, like,
So Attack of the
Available
Twonkies. Maybe it wasn't that one. I don't know. So one thing that I never knew that you told me was that this was based on a special. This was an episode.
Yeah, this was a TV movie, basically.
I thought it was just like Rugrats Royal Ransom, where they just make up a concept and make a game out of it, or like Battle for Bikini Bottom.
No, let me just check real quick.
Did Jimmy
how long-
Neutron ever have like an original game that wasn't based on a special?
Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron.
Okay, so that wasn't based on an episode.
That wasn't based on an episode. They were the partner games, but other than that, like as in like the Nicktoons games, but other than that, they were always a special or a movie.
Interesting.
It's a 5-hour game. Compare that to SpongeBob, let's say the movie game, which we played recently. 5 hours compared to 7.5 hours. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I feel like that sounds about right. Why do you think that is though? Because like SpongeBob, I think up until like, I guess there's the movie game and Atlantis SquarePants, but everything else, or Truth or Square, but Truth or Square wasn't supposed to be Truth or Square. For the most part, SpongeBob games were like original concepts.
I think, and this is me saying as someone that adores Jimmy Neutron, I think after the movie and the movie's real runaway success, I have a feeling that it was a real, very quick, just slope in regards to Jimmy Neutron. Not to the point where it deserved to be cancelled. I think its cancellation was because of the studio collapsing and all that. But I think it had a really strong start, and that Nickelodeon put a bunch of stuff in place immediately. Like, okay, we're going to greenlight multiple seasons straight away. And you can do all these specials, and we're going to go chuck some video games there. I think all the video games and all that sort of stuff was like a very early decision, and the specials as well was an early decision based on that early success. And I think when it started to come out, it did well, and it was a good show, but it wasn't SpongeBob level. SpongeBob was just such a phenomenon that it continuously had them greenlighting more projects than the show could keep up with.
I think
So
the Fairly
more
Odd Parents
separate
games were
games.
all original. Danny Phantom didn't really get... I think it had one Game Boy Advance game that was based on a special.
Yeah,
But
and
other
then
than
Hey
that,
Arnold
it never
got
really-
one GBA game.
Did it? Okay. That was one thing is, I said in the Dice of Destiny segment last episode that we had gotten probably every character that we cared about, but I was thinking, well, no, we didn't get like a Hey Arnold representation or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's just click through this. This one's more minor stuff.
Right, because it's a shorter trailer.
The short trailer. Obviously, it's got this kind of intro segment. Jimmy Neutron did a lot of stuff like this. A lot of their trailers and their
I think they even
game
did it in
ads.
the original movie trailer.
Yeah, they love these kind of quirky.
Check.
The main difference is just lighting. So in the actual
The
game,
Twonkies are
there's
disturbing.
heaps more contrast. There's heaps more lighting contrast. Like
I
this
don't
is
remember
completely
that being
flat.
what the Twonkies looked like, but I never actually watched it or played it. I just remember this ad specifically. So.
The medium-sized Twonkies of this big are a game original. In the show, it was just the small ones and then the huge ones. So they add these middle-sized kind of brutes. But
Did
there's
their
way
faces look different? Because that's specifically, I don't remember the face.
well
looking
for
quite
this
like
one, it
that.
looks different. But
Okay.
for the little guys, that's what they look like. But yeah, so way more contrast, way more saturated colors. I played it on the original consoles as
Were
well.
Were the
so-
wall textures that blurry?
Yes.
Okay.
Way more
checking.
contrast here.
Okay,
It's
that's what
basically-
I
it's-
remember. The little one is what I remember them looking like. Okay. that
Yeah,
makes
so he
more
looks
sense.
completely accurate. But like way more contrast, way more shadows, way more definition. Everything's like half saturation. I don't know if it's maybe just poor capturing. Like,
Who
'cause,
made
you know,
this
how
game?
awful they
Well,
can
I mean, all of these. I mean, capturing in general was like an early concept at this point. Like
But then
all
this
of these
seems
captures
like,
look bad. Like look at that Dutchman capture. Like or the even the
Yeah.
Rugrats capture. Like they all look pretty rough. But it's like the technology wasn't. It was people didn't. Your mother, everyone and your mother didn't have a capture card at that point. It was specialized stuff you had to buy. So
this was made. Wait, developers?
yeah, who developed
This was
game?
developed by THQ Studio Australia.
Didn't they do?
This was developed by THQ
Australians.
as well as Tentacles Media
Well, I
and THQ,
believe-
but also published by THQ.
I believe THQ Australia did Lights, Camera, Pants. I think. I could be wrong. Hold on, let me double check.
Also, I feel like the writing on the side here is wrong.
I was gonna say, what is that supposed to
JXX?
say exactly?
Like that's not completed. But then they show this segment here that's obviously from a different build because the shadows are way more compared to like let's just contrast that between this one. Oh wait, no. It's just a different point of the animation. Never mind. I'm wrong. Just different point of the animation.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
it's
this is
the
definitely
same-
an earlier build.
So this is the same team that made Lights, Camera, Pants.
Yeah. Okay. And also, Jimmy in game has basically no facial animations yet. He just does this all the
Well,
time.
they're like in general. This looks much better than Lights, Camera, Pants. I would say, as far as like the animations and the models. Like
It's
Lights,
a
Camera, Pants
phenomenal
is-
game.
Lights, Camera, Pants is kind of rough looking. Like, if
I'm
you
really
go back and
keen.
look at it.
I'm really keen for you to give it a go and for us to play through it because it is a really impressive game.
I need to
Considering
sit
what it
down
is.
and watch through the show and then start playing the games. That's something that I need to just do, but I have to make the time for it. I remember a Rocket Power game that I saw ads for. I think it was in the Rugrats Horror Ransom copy that I had. Beach Bandits? ?
I think it was something like that. Yeah, there was a PC one, and then there was a later.
I'm thinking of probably the console one. And I just remember always thinking that it looked cool, and it would be something that I'd want to play. But I was never really a Rocket Power person, so I never bothered getting it. I think it was a little bit too old for me, to be honest. Like I
Rocket
didn't
Power.
fully understand it
Rocket
at the time.
Power.
By the time
video
All
game.
Grown Up came out, you know, I knew the characters and I was a little bit older, so I could kind of follow it. But
Beach Bandits. Let's pull this up. Jamie, pull this shit up.
who's Jamie?
Jamie Oliver. Me and him are tight. Okay.
Jimmy, pull this up.
Jamie, pull this up. Not at that speed. That would be great. Normal speed, please. Neither of us have played this game, so we're not going to be able to like make much
Right,
of a
we won't be able to
comparison,
point
but-
anything out. I just wanted to relive this for a second. I think this came out around the time of like. That was very brief.
It's very brief.
Like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater
Epic
era,
sports.
like that kind of thing. I wonder how it play. I should go watch a YouTube review of it. I wonder
We've
how
got some
it
cool
actually
Jimmy
plays.
Neutron ones here. We got some cool Jimmy Neutron ones here. Let me pull this shit up. Jamie, pull this shit up. Stop fighting me, Riverside. I'll kill you.
I actually think we should just watch Garfield videos for the rest of the.
No.
You know, Garfield's my favorite Nicktoon.
Oh, look, got a voice actor in there and everything.
What is this for? Is this for the Big Sky game?
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird. Are we seeing
Right,
behind
right.
the scenes of Big Sky? Right?
Jimmy Neutron PlayStation 2 game was made. Hang on. To create the game, a staff of highly trained technicians first mapped it out on paper. Kind of like a
Wait,
board game.
hold on.
Then they
Wait,
went to
who is
3D
that?
mode.
Wait, go back.
Texture.
I need to see who that man is.
That quirky man.
Snapped it out on.
I think that's him. I can't tell for sure, but I'm fairly certain that's the what's his name? Not Jeremy, but the other one. Vass. I'm pretty sure that's Vass.
Vast Nicuvia?
Nickelodeon. Vaskin Sayer. I'm pretty sure that's him. It's hard to tell. We'll look at it again when we slow it down later.
Yeah.
But this is
First snapped it out on
fascinating.
paper, kind of like a board game.
I did not know
Then
this
they went into
existed.
3D mode to add texture, characters. It's
This is
not
Big
just
Sky
gameplay.
behind the
After
scenes,
that
bro.
came my
Yeah.
favorite part, testing the game. Here's a tip: when you're playing, make sure you talk to all of Jimmy's friends.
Make
They're
sure you
gonna
try
show
to
how bust up what your
kiss-
game.
what's
Get
her
him,
name?
Jimmy.
Cindy.
It's all late. Jimmy needs his Rocky back. Got a blast.
Got a blast.
Interesting.
How have I
Okay.
never seen that before?
All right, let's go through this bad boy at
I
half
guess
speed.
I wasn't trying to cover the Jimmy Neutron game, so I would. Puts the disc in your garden.
Push the disc in guard, hits the gritty on the purple floor.
He's doing a party. And who's this kid?
Some radical teen. Some awesome radical teen.
Still got some very 90s vibes for early 2000s. Pause
Your
here.
boys in the con.
Go back to where we can see that other guy's face as well. I want to see if I can tell who that is.
There you go.
I'm not sure about him. But this
He's got that
is-
Scrooge kind of big ears, long nose, sharp chin, kind of stubbly
Yeah.
look. He's,
I don't have pictures of everyone, so it's possible he's just one that we don't have public images of.
Yeah, but
Could
he's got a
be-
computer. Yeah, he's got a computer.
Yeah, and it's like the old computer. I've literally seen pictures. I've seen this room before. This room looks familiar. To be honest, I have pictures of this room. This is. I'm so captivated. And who is that at that other computer?
Another beard, stubby nose, big forehead.
It almost looks like Billy, but I barely see any of his face, so I can't tell. Seeing the Totem Tech development environment there.
Yeah.
I am almost positive that is Vass.
So who's Vaz?
Vass was a controversial employee. He was head of design, so basically, and that's probably what he's doing here is design. It looks like he's like mapping it out like a board game.
Yeah.
So working on levels and ideas and concepts and just like designing the game, like not programming it, but like coming up with what it would look like and how it would play and that kind of thing.
Right.
But he was, like I said, controversial. Wasn't the nicest fellow. I will be getting into that when I eventually finish this impossibly long documentary that's taken me years to develop. I mean, realistically, it's like I'm making a movie by myself and going into a lot of stuff. So it's like, yeah, it would take me a while.
Yeah. I get you.
Other people can crank out documentaries, but a lot of the people who have been, like Turkey Tom, like, he has people who help him with that stuff now. I'm doing it all on my own, so it's like,
By
Could make sense.
myself.
Big Sky.
And then we got
and
some.
then- pause here. This is
lists.
Totem Tech. That looks rough.
I love the transition. It's like look at how different it is.
I wish I could zoom into the.
Oh my
what
god,
is-
it's worse.
It's so blurry. I want to see what the.
This is also the remastered trailer that someone found and has like tried to fix up.
I'm trying to see what the text says.
Sorry, let me zoom it back and I'll make it even slower.
So I recognize
Control
the-
panel.
Pause it real quick. I recognize the type of text up in that top right corner, but I was just trying to see what that the title of the window is up there, and I can't really make it out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh wait, SDK. Something. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's an SDK. I've heard that term before, but I don't fully know what that means. And then
That's very different.
it's the modeling the models and such.
That looks that looks like
That
a
looks like
concept
a
art.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
not-
that's not in-game assets for sure.
Maybe they were planning on doing like like the still frame cutscenes.
I wonder if, well, it almost looks like just a concept illustrator. Let's see. I wonder if we have this art
It's got
somewhere.
concept there, but then he has another image thing over here that looks like actual angle within the game.
The thing about Totem Tech was they were able to work in the thing and have the game playing at the same They liked the technology because it allowed them to multitask basically.
Is Pop in
Poppin'?
Is Pop in
Wait, pop in front
occasions?
something. Not occasion. I don't know. But I wonder who drew this. And I wonder if we have. Probably not, because we didn't have access to the Revenge of the Flying Dutchman concept art until I got my hands on it. So we probably don't have access to this drawing.
Yeah.
I'd be curious who drew it. Doesn't
Guard.
look like any art I recognize. Goddard.
Yeah.
looks- Whose hand is that?
I know.
Neutrons. 3-1.
Hold on. Let me see the bottom of his finger. I know that fingerprint.
Whose finger
It's
is
him.
that? Is that Matt Scabilia? The pogo stick. Oh, that dang pogo stick.
Ooh.
How did I not?
So
I gotta
it's
use.
Strata
I've got to use
XL.
this in my doc. I'm glad we're finding this because now I'm like, I've got to use this in my documentary
Yeah.
somewhere. I didn't know this existed.
There's another trailer for this as well. We can have a look at. And I think that's everything kind of from there on out. It's just early.
Yeah, as
footage.
far as like the behind the scenes go, the rest is just gameplay.
that is a cool little find. That's cool. I'll send that to you now, just so you have a record of it. Okay, let's have a look at the other one, because this one, there's one here. There's two that are the UK ads for them, the games. And what's interesting to me about them, they've got two. What's interesting to me about them is they use Comic Sans. So I just wanted to talk about
Sounds about right.
the offense that this is.
I
to
wonder
me.
if Big Sky cut the trailer. Oh, jeez. They came out hard with that.
This is the old DVD one.
Mmm. That is the drop shadow is from the top. That looks like the early YouTube videos where people didn't want to speak, so they would just I'm gonna PowerPoint my text in here.
Welcome to my tutorial on how to download mods into
I don't
Minecraft
know who
Java.
made that. I would love to know who made that. That was, I don't even think that was Big's guy. That was just some rando marketing person.
This was on official DVDs, by the way. I watched this
so bad.
This might have even been on the movie DVD. Okay, and then we have 2000. That one was from 2002. This one's from 2005. So I'm expecting primo quality.
I was about to say, why? Oh, what is this trailer for?
This from the thumbnail is for both the movie game and Attack of the Twonkies. It's like advertising all the games.
So they were still advertising this game in the UK. That's interesting.
Hold on, babe. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. Is this like copyrighted?
Hold on, babe.
Probably.
I'm on my way.
This is
Hold on, babe.
horrible music.
I'm on my way.
Oh, it was for those two.
What is-
those two? That's
Okay,
Jet
yeah, I
Fusion
was gonna
and Attack of the Twonkies. Okay.
What is wrong with UK market? It's the same thing where they just like push transition the
It's
games
also-
all together and then have like horrible plain text over a background.
It's also if you factor in how much of it is just displaying the games, over 50% of this trailer, about 60% of this trailer, is shots from the movie.
Yeah, and
A
just
third of it is the
horrible. What is wrong with the UK? Hey, British people. Hey, British people.
Stop.
Stop it.
Get some help.
You need to find better marketing people for your Jimmy Neutron video game trailers.
That's hilarious. And then I've got SpongeBob Balcony Bottom
Who got
here, which
paid?
I'm sure probably
Someone
all of us
got
have seen.
paid thousands of dollars to cut that trailer.
Then we've got Balcony Bottom.
Oh, this is.
1, 2, 3, go! What would this town do without you, SpongeBob?
What was that?
That's a bit weird.
Let's get to work!
Sand Mountain looks weird.
Is that Sandy sliding on her tail?
There's a lot. We're gonna have to go back through this one. I have so many things I want. Everything looks early and rough.
SpongeBob! I like you, SpongeBob. Well, we could be tighter than bark on a tree.
Oh wait, hold on. Whoa. Okay. There's so much in there.
There's so much. I was not expecting
much.
that at all.
First of all, when I first saw the trailer for this game, I didn't want to play it. I remember my dad got it for me at Blockbuster, and I was like, I don't really know. Then the reason is, I don't remember if it probably wasn't this trailer. It was probably some other trailer, but I remember seeing that there was a time limit for something they were doing in the game, and I was like, I hate time limits with all my heart.
He's a Majora's Mask hater.
I was like, I think I'm fine with Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Well, I actually love Majora's Mask now, but if I was when I was a kid, I would have hated it. But
I did hate it as a kid as well.
it
I
made me
haven't gone
think
back
of
to play it
like
again.
I don't know why, but when I saw it, it made me think of like the karate fight with Sandy at the and then Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and I was like, I don't really need a game like that. I don't know.
Okay,
Little
let's
did
go
I
through
know.
this bad boy.
It would be
Let's go through this
amazing.
bad boy. So slightly different title, different like early
So
builds.
the
evidently.
textures are
Textures
so
and lighting
flat.
are completely
The
different.
Krusty Krab doesn't
Also-
look at all like the Krusty Krab. Well, I mean, it
What's
does.
going
but
on
like,
with the jellyfish? Like with Flying Dutchman's over here. There's none of like the ambience or anything around it.
right, everything is so flat.
So very early build.
That looks.
We got Muscle Bob in the back.
And I believe that is from the. I don't know. That does not. Maybe it is. That doesn't look quite like the phase of the battle. No, because he has the anchor arms, and we never fought him with the anchor arms. So this is from.
Yeah, we've never fought him in this mode. This is
from whatever they cut later.
Yeah.
Although I thought you were
That-
supposed to fight him as Patrick when in this phase. So you're
Yeah,
playing as
that's
SpongeBob.
true as well. Also, didn't Purple Lamp promise that they were bringing back all this lost content?
Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things I was most excited for. And they were like, we're going to bring back all these boss fights, the Squidward boss fight, the muscle arms thing. We're going to bring back Patrick's dream. And then they were like, oh, but it's in our multiplayer mode later on, because they obviously got in over their heads and realized they didn't have time to do it. And we're like, let's just throw together this crap so that we can say we did it.
Never forget, never
That-
forgive.
Purple Lamp, you upset me.
Okay,
This looks a
It's
little
all-
bit more.
that's a bit of a weird looking. That's a very very purple tiki, considering everything's so desaturated.
Well, the flying tikis are an entirely different design in this build. They're more like a pinky color. Oh, but yeah, the tiki marking. Yeah, you're right. That was weird. This looks.
What the hell is that? Is that earworm? Was the earworm episode? What the hell?
You see, those are the flying tikis right there. That are different. But yeah,
The
what is
pigs.
with the the weird
Oh,
PNG?
sorry. No,
Yeah,
I was looking at whatever this thing
That's
is.
for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is that? I
No,
don't know
look
what
at
that's.
this- Look
It
at this
looks like a
facial
really
animation.
bad drawing, but yeah, that looks like
Wasn't
the
that
facial
fun?
animation he makes in the tree dome, but his eyes
Yeah.
aren't sunken in.
The song that you ran from is back again. You wonder if the madness will ever end. Yeah,
And hold on, go back.
and that
What is that?
shiny object.
Shiny object. Okay, but there's another thing back there. Hold on.
Well,
Okay,
you see his facial
is that
animation?
just a stand-in? Okay, so were the shiny objects gonna look like shiny object edits? What does that say?
Data, isn't it? ATA.
I can't tell. But so that's what the little thing is. That's not a tiki. That's a shiny object. That square up there in the corner.
That's the signifier for the
Is
counter.
that what the-
right?
Was that actually planned to be what they look like, or was that just a stand-in? I don't know. I never watched Beta 64's video. I'm sure he goes over all of
Yeah.
this.
See his facial animation though. Wow.
Yeah, he's going nuts.
Wow.
Shiny objects look weird. The bubbles for the underwear look off.
But
That cabin.
Sandy
right
doesn't
there.
do this, right? Sandy does not.
No, she
slide her
uses a
tail.
board. She uses a board. But also I was distracted by the way the cabin in the background looked over there.
Yeah.
That's very early Sand Mountain.
You can still
Yeah,
see
she
Larry's
uses
there
a-
though. Larry
She
was
uses
there.
the shell board like from the episode.
Yeah, and you can see Larry's there.
Is he?
Up in the
Where?
corner.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. And this,
That's
pause here.
interesting headbutt.
Not just the headbutt. Look at the background.
Yeah,
Just like-
the shadowing's completely different.
Well, there's no shadowing. Kelp Forest. You
and the
can actually
water's
see everything in Kelp Forest. It's actually playable.
But also the animation for where
Everything's so
Patrick's
flat.
hit is
Yeah, he doesn't really do that.
kadonk.
But they have no lighting in there whatsoever. What does the helmet look like? Hold on, go back and.
It just
Yeah,
looks
that's like a
karate.
that's like his karate
one.
helmet. That's not his
Yeah.
Viking helmet.
There's no stabby bits.
Weird.
Yeah, this all looks.
The skull
about
looks
right.
a little bit different.
He's huge in this, or we're just way closer to him.
I think the camera's just really close to him for some reason. Wait,
Weird
go back.
animation again.
Go back again. Hold on. There was like a weird robot. Right.
This one?
Yeah. What? Is that a robot? Or is that just smoke?
It
I
changes a
can't
little bit. It looks like
Yeah.
it had an eye. Yeah, it's a robot.
Early robot.
They look. Oh my gosh, it looks so weird.
Wait, there's robots in. Hold on.
Oh, you're right.
First of all,
house.
Gary has his own sign over there. So were the signs supposed to be Gary's, like the little question mark
Gary telling
signs?
you
Were
what
they
to
supposed
do?
to be Gary tips? And
Yeah.
Gary's
Well, the
standing
textures
in
are
the
completely different as well
he's-
because the texture
he's-
at Goo Lagoon was different too.
Yeah, he's standing in the corner rather than in the middle of the room, and there's robots in his house. That was never a thing.
That's a different
Squidward's
animation
house
too.
looks totally empty.
Why is he wearing his hat too?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. He never wears his hat in that game.
Shiny object. Oh, shiny.
Gate.
It says it here. Shiny
Gate.
object gate.
So that's just a stand-in. They hadn't made that yet. So I wonder
They
if the shiny
literally
objects
have-
in general were stand-ins, maybe.
They literally
I
have
hope.
temporary objects in the trailer.
Yeah, that's wild. This build is very clearly early. Like the jellyfish fields looks way off, but
It also
Something's
passes
coming.
through like the fence has no
it's
both up and
it's in
down.
both states. Yeah,
and goes through it.
and the shiny object.
And-
This,
oh, there's just heaps
look
of
at this.
these.
He's collecting crabby golden spatulas as though they were the shiny objects.
Little coins. And
So-
what's this? What are
I
these?
think that's supposed to be the gate. Like it's blocking you there. I don't remember if it looked quite like that. But I'm just in awe, like, why is he collecting the golden spatula like that? Was that ever a plan? Were they just going to be the coins?
I think it might have been we need something here that's not a temporary object.
I mean, it's possible. I don't,
because they've already got it in the background. Like they've already.
but this
designed
looks
it,
almost
so.
even earlier. I don't know. Although,
Oh well,
that's so weird.
he's not getting anything. There's no marker of him collecting anything on the top.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no HUD at least. Yeah, I don't know.
My
That is
boys.
bizarre. What is that? Hold on. What is that in the background? It's like a shiny. There's a little that little orb of green or yellow light or
Yeah.
whatever that is. I can't tell what that is. I thought maybe it was like a different coin collectible or something.
It's rotating. They're
yeah,
rotating
it must
like
be some
coins.
kind of collectible. Maybe that's a different version of the shiny object square.
Hmm. And they
Why do you think?
puff out some like gas or something. See that?
Yeah.
They've
It
got,
must
like,
be
some
like the
levitating thing.
rockets. Instead of like having a bubble, it's like that's. Huh.
Oh, they didn't even remove the PNG. What the hell?
That is.
That's wild.
I should probably watch Beta 64's video, even though I was upset at the time when he released it.
I don't even. I haven't watched it. I've only watched that guy's video on Persona 5, and then I only watched half because he rambles a little bit for me. Rambles a little
Yeah.
bit, but I'm sure he does good stuff. But it's just like it was so long the Persona video. I was like, oh my god.
This has been one of the most interesting episodes we've ever recorded for me, and we're already almost at an hour, and I'm like, I want more.
There's I think that's. I've got a few other ones. I've got Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules, Nicktoons,
There was-
Blast trailer, which is like
Can we look at? I remember, I think I told the story during our live stream, our most recent one, where I would see the movie game trailer on TV, and I was like, "Oh, they're making a new game, and it looks like
SpongeBob movie game trailer."
and it looks like Battle for Bikini Bottom." I'm curious what that looked like in comparison to the final product.
There's the one that's very clearly older. We can do both. Let's do both.
I remember one where they were driving through the Goofy Goober area.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this.
Rated everyone.
Goofy Goober!
Yeah, probably.
Oh, whoa, that's
You can
different.
see the movie and play the game. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game. Available now for your...
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that one because it hadn't come out yet by the time that I saw the.
That is some different. That is some different stuff. So
It's not
that's fairly
nearly
different.
as
There's nothing.
different.
There's nothing below him. There's
Oh,
nothing
yeah,
throwing
you're
him
right.
up and he's landing at anything.
It's
this
very
is all
obvious
fairly
that
similar.
they had more.
That texture's
planned
completely
out
different.
because
The
they
texture
had
in
already
there is completely
done-
different. Like all this lighting is
The
way
lighting
off.
is a little bit more purpley.
The room in here is completely like, what the hell is any of this?
No lighting.
Nothing to
The
hit.
final level is very orangey. This is
The middle bit's not there.
Oh wait, was that?
That's
I'm Ready
this
Depression?
room. You remember this room? No. This
Okay,
is,
yeah, I thought that almost looked like I'm Ready Depression for a second.
Well,
That's what
because
I thought.
it's got the pattern thing there, which isn't there.
Weird. Huh.
That looks more or less finalized.
Yeah, that looks.
So is this one. So is that. It's interesting. Planktopolis is so like finalized.
Did you
but
ever
then
drive in
other
that
ones.
area? I don't remember.
Planktopolis, I believe so.
Okay, I didn't play a lot of the later game as a kid, so.
So there's that one, and then last one, which is the more famous one. This is the one that probably everyone knows. Is let me pull it up.
That was not
You'll
the movie
recognize
game
this one.
trailer that I recall.
The smile, the laugh, the pants. Get in touch with your inner Bob. Join SpongeBob and Patrick on their most perilous journey ever to a mysterious place that no sea creature has ever returned from.
Probably this one. I can't recall.
Help them save Mr. Krabs and all of Bikini Bottom from Plankton's dreaded Plan Z. The sea made him a legend. The pants made him a hero. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the exact one, but like you said, it's probably the more popular.
We'll have a look at this.
It looks a lot more finished.
Yeah, it's a lot further along.
I
I think a lot of it actually just has to do with better capturing. Like the colors are more
part
accurate.
of it. I honestly though, I don't think that's all of it. I think a lot of those builds, that's just what the game looked like at that point. I that's a little bit different, I guess.
But I just mean like that's the same shot. That's the same shot. But
Right,
the
well,
coloring is way better. There's
I wouldn't say. I would say the part where they're in the car is a lot.
That's
is
the same shot.
The part where they're in the car is the same. It looked a little bit better, but it looked about the same.
That's the same.
The part
shot.
where he dives into SpongeBob did look different. It looked like they had touched it up.
Yeah, and there's also this one.
And you can actually see the boss in that shot. Yeah.
There's this one, which is the exact same angle, the exact same room, the exact same coloration, the exact same movement of the camera angle, but the color's way better.
Yeah.
It's not the gray. Like it's not. It's the same. That's the same build.
But yeah.
And these don't. They're not textured yet.
Oh, there's no buttons in there. Yeah. They really wanted to show off the rocket, or the. I guess it's not a rocket in here. It's the guitar.
I love they use it at a point as well where there is nothing to hit. They didn't do it at like one of the levels or something.
Yeah. They're showing the macho meter in this one. I noticed in that later driving level, he only has 3 Krabby Patties. Like there's no upgrade system or something.
Oh. Were the helicopters? This also isn't lit. This is lit during the day. The scene in here is lit during the evening.
Recall if there's full-on models. I can't. I think there were. I don't remember.
And that's the same shot again as well.
Yeah, that looks a lot more like the finished game in that one.
It does.
Sure.
Is there another?
Not one that jumps out to me.
I can't find another one.
Oh, for that one.
For that game, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But
This is beta footage. I don't know if this was ever used. Let's pull this bad boy, Jamie. Pull this bad boy up.
Well, if it's beta, yeah. This is literally just the trailer footage we already saw.
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
they just cut the trailer and said, this is beta footage.
Yeah, well, this is just from the trailer.
Yeah, it's literally just the trailer.
But then this stuff is different.
Might be from a different trailer.
Yeah. Most of this doesn't look like beta footage. Most of this looks like the game we have now. This, at the start, absolutely. What's that helmet?
That's like the bubble helmet from what we saw before. But...
And he's wearing some other... he's got a guitar.
And I think that
some other...
that worm did not look like that.
No. But he's also wearing, like, a bunch of armor and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like an early version of the upgrade system.
Oh, that would have been cool, dude. Anyway. We should probably wrap the episode up, my gamer. But what's he got now?
It's not turned on.
What is it?
Do you know what this is? This is my Nintendo Alarmo. Because I paid for the alarm clock. Because I'm part of the problem.
You are, aren't you? Do you want to have your rant about Tears of the Kingdom before we finish?
Oh, it wasn't exactly a rant. It's spoilers, so if anyone doesn't want to be spoiled for Tears of the Kingdom, leave. I thought throughout the entire game, I was convinced Zelda was going to die. Not maybe the entire game, but not necessarily die, but she was going to stay a dragon forever, and like, I was going to be pissed. And because I had heard so many people, especially like hardcore Zelda fans, I'd heard, you know, they didn't like it very much. They were upset by the way the story went, I guess.
Dude,
and so
I would beg, I just was so desperate to have a game where Zelda was a consistent character throughout the game, where she was,
and I think maybe that's why they were upset by it.
Like, that's what was set up in all the trailers, and after the first game, that she was going to be an active character that you could constantly go and speak to and was around and all that. I was so excited for that because she is basically the only character in the game. And then as soon as she disappeared in that first like cutscene, I was like,
yeah, I think maybe that's why they ended up being upset by it, because it seemed like they were going in one direction, and then it was just kind of more of the same, except for now you build stuff, and it's like the building stuff's kind of cool, but it gets so tedious so quickly. And they tried to do like, here's auto build, so it's not as tedious. It's just as tedious. The auto build doesn't even work half the time. It just breaks when I try to do it. And like, you have to have the right supplies, and you have to pull them all out of your inventory. And it's like the underground. It's cool that they made an entire map underground. It's super empty and tedious and frustrating to explore because of all the gloom. I despise the gloom with all my heart. I could not stand the gloom, and I went around and got this set of armor that was supposed to help with the gloom. I thought it would make it so that I wasn't affected by the gloom. No, it doesn't. It just kind of adds some extra hearts so that it's a little bit easier to get around. And
yeah,
I wasted so much time trying to get that set of armor, and it did not help at all. And I will say, I was, even though didn't love the gameplay direction, didn't love the story overall, the whole Zonai stuff, I felt like I enjoyed the Zonai stuff more before we understood them. Like when people were making theory videos and stuff. I enjoyed a lot of those theory videos.
Because the story is, the story of Skyward Sword is now both irrelevant but also redone.
Right. Well, it's like
this is now the Imprisoning War. The Imprisoning War was Skyward Sword. That was the imprisoning.
They did not. There's a reason they didn't place these games on the timeline. They're like, oh, they're their own thing. And yeah. And then
like, I understand if Nintendo doesn't care, but they're selling these games to people that do care.
Miyamoto.
So you need to factor that in a little bit.
I will say the conclusion, like when you go and fight Ganon and the final battle, that was a really high. I actually kind of teared up by the end when I realized, oh, she doesn't die, because I did not want her to die, but I was afraid that was what they were going to do. So I really enjoyed it. Like much better conclusion than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion, as far as like the fight goes. Calamity Ganon was kind of lame. Like
you'd fought him 4 times already.
Yeah,
in different forms.
Easily finish Calamity Ganon off without playing the game much. Like, you can speedrun that very easily. Whereas I felt more intimidated by Ganondorf and his different phases. And then when I realized I should have seen this coming. I don't know why I didn't see this coming, but when he swallows the stone and becomes a dragon himself, I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, I was like, oh, that makes sense, but I did not see that coming at all. And then the giant dragon battle at the end, it wasn't really that complex of a battle, but it was still a really cool set.
It's just the spectacle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it just irritates me because everyone touts the Zelda games as more or less being the pinnacle of the genre. Every one of them is the pinnacle of the genre and the next big step. I was like, yeah, but you can never get the story right. And there are a lot of things that just irritate me. Just like you go for scale over quality a lot of the time when you guys are meant to be the quality guys.
Yeah, I think they did some stuff right with like Ganondorf, but
all the Ganondorf stuff was great, and all that storyline was great. But it's just like you just keep. They need to go back to the drawing board, and then like, I'm not saying that I want them to go entirely back to the whole linear style, but the fact that they seem totally unwilling to make that its own separate series and keep it going along with the open world stuff is a little bit frustrating to me. Like Aonuma, the guy who does the Zelda series, was asked like, would you consider like, you know, going back to the old style at some point and doing like a game in that old style? And he's like, why would anyone want that? Was basically his response. So I think he's a little bit out of touch there. But. I think by the time the next game comes around in another half a decade or so, it will have changed again. It's an ever evolving.
It needs to change. It has to change at this point. Like they can't go back to the Breath of the Wild map. You know,
you cannot, and you can't like.
And they.
But yeah, I think it's a whole thing of. It's one of the issues of why I miss there being the mainline console Nintendo and the handheld console, because back in those days you would have handheld Zelda and you would have mainline Zelda.
Yeah,
so you had those two things. You can't really do that as much anymore.
Well, they do it now, but it's
you have the chibi games.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they don't run super well for some reason, like the 2D games don't. I had another thought. I will say, like, you know, I was really just trying to get through Tears of the Kingdom. It did hook me, but I just really wanted to see the story stuff. And I don't really have any desire to go back and be like, oh, let's find all the shrines. Let's fill up the entire underground map. Let's do all this. Whereas with Breath of the Wild, I spent a lot of time in that game. I don't think I got all the Korok seeds, but I got a lot of them, and I did everything else.
Yeah, for Breath of the Wild, I probably got about 50-60% of that game donezo. And I was happy with that. My main quest of going into Breath of the Wild originally was to get the Master Sword. That was my big focus. The story was secondary. My main focus was getting the Master Sword, and that was the same thing I went in with Tears of the Kingdom.
Did you ever do the DLC where you do the trial of the Master Sword, and like you do this thing where it's like they reset you from zero, and you have to survive wave after wave, like different like puzzles basically, where they take away all your stuff, and then you have to try to survive all these rooms, and if you pull it off by the end, the Master Sword no longer breaks. You can just use it as much as you want.
Oh, really? No, I never did any of the DLC. Because I played it, day one. By the time I'd finished it, the DLC had come out or anything.
Well, I've gone back to that one so many times. That was kind of my point. Is just I've spent so much more time with Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom felt so clunky in comparison. It had so many more issues with its mechanics.
I think it's just the
gloom,
the element-based, movement-based mechanics of the first one, the gravity and all that stuff, and the building stuff, and that was so impossibly tight and made sense so clearly in my mind. I never felt comfortable or felt like I mastered any of the new abilities, the building abilities, or any of that.
I never felt
really
fully
unnatural. I was always like, oh, I can jump through the ceiling for some
And I was always scrounging for stuff. I was struggling to stay alive at points, even when I had like half my hearts filled. The gloom made everything so much harder and more frustrating. And in the building, it was like trying to keep up with like your battery power and everything. Yeah. If I had gone around and like maxed everything out after like hours and hours and hours, maybe I would have an easier time. But it felt very clunky. It didn't.
Well, I really don't understand, and what kind of irritates me a little bit is why did none of these conversations ever happen when the game first comes out? When these games first come out, it's always 10 out of 10. This is the most perfect thing ever. And
I
maybe
think
a
the
year or two
conversations
later,
were
the
happening.
conversation comes around. Like people, like you remember, I'm not sure if you remember, but when Breath of the Wild released day one, if you said anything negative about that game online, you were dragged through the mud. You were literally like you were the outsider. I remember JonTron like got Twitter pile-ons because he didn't like that it was like so open and like there was so much like space without things in it.
Jephthah and Pladley, they don't like them. They tried them and they
The
refuse to go back. Yeah, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Jephthah, I think, intends to go back eventually. I doubt he ever actually will. But they're overwhelmed by the openness, and I guess they're just not used to playing games like that. Whereas I was a little bit more used to stuff like that. I do remember conversations, not as much about Breath of the Wild. I know there were a lot of people who were like, "Just go back to the old style. I don't like this." But with Tears of the Kingdom, at least for the people I follow, I feel like it was divisive from the beginning. And obviously the reviewers are all going to say it's the best one ever, blah, 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 because that's always what happens. I've been seeing a lot of 9s out of 10s for games that have been coming out where I'm like, I don't know if I believe you. Like recently, like this last month, all the new games that are coming out, everyone is getting like high scores where I just don't. It feels like everyone's saying the same things about the games, and the games are very different. So it's like, I don't trust you, gaming journalists. And it's like IGN's current Nintendo guy. It's like I like him a lot. I respect him, but and I think we share a lot of the same opinions. But I don't agree. Like a lot of the people in that group would say Tears of the Kingdom is obviously the best one. No. No. He was all thrilled about. That's one thing that I didn't complain about in the last Nintendo conversation was the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC for $20 that just adds a new island and like a minor new mode for $20, which would have been a free update if it was Mario Odyssey back in 2017. That really aggravated me, and a lot of people were like,
"Isn't it the one that's got the original map though?"
Yes, but there's nothing to do on it. It's just there. You don't get new bananas or anything. Like, there's no tasks. You just do the roguelike mode that they added, which does not look interesting to me. So, I don't know. A lot of people, especially journalists, were like, "Oh, this is great." And I was like, "No, this sucks."
That's right.
But yeah, I won't rant on as much as I did last time. But
good. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Thank you for having this little chat with us and having a look at some of these cool little trailers. And we will see you again very soon with more Skibbity content.